sauce. You know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the renaissance. You know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a renaissance, man.
Congratulations, brother.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay. So, training camp day, what is this? 15? This is 15, right? I know I've missed a couple. My bad. Had some things I had to take care of, personal stuff. I'm trying to do better and making sure I get this stuff out there at least every day, every other day max. So, I apologize to you guys if I kind of fell short this week. But here we go. We're training camp day 15. Today is August 16th. It's a Tuesday. We got some great news about our guy, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is going to be good to go. The procedure was a success. There was no concerns in terms of any unforeseen damage. They were able to trim the meniscus, close him back up. The bone bruise obviously is going to be an ongoing issue he's got to deal with for a while. But you know what I'm saying? It's football. Those guys deal with freaking body aches the entire time. Something that Zach Wilson's accustomed to shouldn't be an issue. Now they're saying a 2 to 4 week return. I am optimistic that Zach Wilson, young enough, motivated enough, dedicated enough, can make that happen. However, I am going to be optimistically cautious in regards to this aspect. I would rather Zach Wilson be on the bench come the opening game, even though I'm going to be there from Houston, Texas to watch that game live. I would rather have Zach Wilson on the bench than play if he's not 100% ready to go. I don't mean 99.5. I don't mean 99.9. 100% ready to go. I'd rather have Zach Wilson on the bench watching that game, take those mental reps, heal up, and then come back week 2, week 3, whatever the case may be. As of right now, I was looking at the worst case scenario for Zach would be week 3 from his return. But again, Zach Wilson's good to go. Great news. The details of the Dwayne Brown contract actually finally came out, and wow, Joe Douglas continues to impress because he was able to go ahead and minimize the cap hit of bringing in Dwayne Brown significantly by adding void years. Now, void years are something that he hasn't used before, I don't believe. I don't think I've seen any contracts of anybody he's brought in have void years in it. But in this situation, the total guarantees for the contract is $9 million. So his cap hit in essence is going to be 9 mil. We did give him a signing bonus. It's like a $4 million cap hit for this year. And he's on the roster next year for another potential $10 million in salary. But here's the thing: if we cut him, we pretty much have the ability to go ahead and cut him and minimize the dead cap penalty for doing so. That's what those void years are in essence all about. We don't have him under contract for those 3 additional years. No, it's a 2 year deal. The reason the void years are even present is so we can go ahead and roll over the dead cap hit if we wind up getting rid of him next year. Now, if he plays for us next year, then it doesn't matter, right? Like we just pay him the agreed upon price. Maybe he'll renegotiate the contract. Who knows, right? But nonetheless, it allows more flexibility for Joe Douglas to let him go, cut him, and then spread load the dead cap over those void years. So another freaking great signing by Joe Douglas. Yeah, like, and then you heard from Dwayne Brown officially in the building. He's already taking not taking team reps, but he's been working on the side a lot, trying to go ahead and get his feel. He already understands the offense. It's all about the lingo at this point. But Dwayne Brown's press conference, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it was amazing, right? He pretty much spoke about why he chose the Jets. And he believes that this roster is something special. He believes that the Jets are an up and coming team. He's a big fan of the culture. He said that he had many friends on the team, which also kind of inspired him to kind of want here to kind of like come to the team to play with not only his friends, but a team that he believes is on the up and up. They asked about like him and George Fan. How did he feel about that? He said George Fan's a constant professional. You know, he made the whole process significantly easy for him to come out there. The conversations were had, of course, with George Fan to kind of see whether or not that was going to be a good to go or a fit. And yeah, ultimately they wind up both before, like I guess, signing the paperwork. It was already agreed, good to go, that George Fant was going to go to the right side and he would take the left side. And George Fant didn't make a scene out about it. He's the ultimate team player, and George Fant right now, I think, is definitely like he's becoming like a fan favorite of the Jets, right? Because we were all kind of worried that by us making him go to the right, or was he going to stay in the left? Like, how was he going to take it? How was he going to react? We had a lot of questions, no answers, and then Dwayne answered those questions for us today. So the Jets had 5 cuts today, right? And those 5 cuts today were kind of surprising a little bit. At least for me, it was. Those cuts were um, defensive back Luck Barku, offensive lineman Derek Kelly, defensive end Timmy Ward. That surprised me. I didn't think Ward was going to be off this team. and wide receiver Rashard Davis. That also surprised me. I thought those guys really had a pretty good training camp and a pretty good preseason game that we're going to see these guys play for the long haul, or at least make it to the next round of cuts. But the Jets had to make those 5 cuts today in order to go ahead and meet the NFL deadlines for roster cuts. This is going to be an ongoing thing now as we inch our way towards a 53-man roster. So, with that said, what were the positives today of training camp? Joe Flacco is shining. Shining. So right now, one of the things we have to look at as Jets fans is I know we were worried about Zach Wilson coming in. How's it going to impact like how we start off the season, etc. Joe Flacco is more than capable as a backup quarterback to go ahead and lead this team to a couple of wins while Zach Wilson heals up. I believe Joe Flacco starting week 1 has a potential to go ahead and be a win, a W. He knows the team. He knows that organization. He's played there before. Joe Flacco is no scrub. People are sleeping on him, talking about Mike White this, or we should have brought in Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Joe Flacco gives this chance the best opportunity to win. He already has some experience with guys like Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, played with them last year as well. So he understands the systems going into year 2 in the system. He's been there already, knows the team, knows what the end goal is of the team. Joe Flacco was more than capable of going in there week 1 and shocking the world and getting a W. Now, a lot of people are coming out talking about like, well, what if, he goes 3-0 or 2-0 before Zach Wilson's ready to go? Listen, Joe Flacco, I think, could potentially take the reins if need be for an entire season. I'm not going to argue that. I think the guy has proven his grit in the NFL. He knows what he's all about in the NFL. He could do it. But the whole purpose of this season right now is for us to know what we have in Zach Wilson. If he went 3-0, I'd be ecstatic about it. It'd be awesome. Great, Zach. Now you have a head start to not mess this up. It would let us know that one, this offense is more than capable of scoring points, winning games, etc. Based off of Joe Flacco's performance. And if Zach can go in there and duplicate that or exceed it, then it's just reaffirming that we have the right guy at quarterback. Plus, our roster is definitely much more improved than it was last year. If Zach Wilson gets in there and we see a decline in performance, and of course he's going through the second year, there's going to be some growing pains. But let's say 2-3 games, and we go 3-3. After that, maybe we take a step back and we bring Joe Flacco in. Maybe the kid's just not ready. Give him a seat. But at the end of the day, I think ultimately for us, we need to know that Zach Wilson is either the guy or he's not. Now, if it's 3-0 and the staff believes they have a better chance of winning with Joe Flacco, and you know what, let Zach Wilson sit the year. Don't forget, back in the day, they used to do this all the time, right? High picks used to go ahead and sit and watch the game, learn from the sideline, get those mental reps in, so they can, when they get on the field, the game is a little bit slower for them anyway. So I'm not opposed for Zach Wilson sitting an entire year for Joe Flacco to go ahead and take the reins if he's capable of taking this team to a playoff run. I'm just saying that for us as Jets fans, for the organization, we kind of want to know, man. We kind of want to know if Zach Wilson is that guy, right? Right now, we've got people who believe he's a bust, people who believe he's regressing, people who don't know what he is. For me, I don't know what he is. I know he has a high ceiling, but we won't know that until we see him put it all together this year with a full squad around him. So when it comes to that, I'd rather Zach Wilson come out there, take the reins. I don't care if Joe Flacco's 3-0, 4-0. Give it to Zach Wilson. We need to see what this kid is capable of because if we're coming out there 4-0, 3-0, it means that our roster is that good. And Zach Wilson should be that much better. So get him in there, throw him in the fire. Let's see what he can do. So today, some highlights, man. We got Lawrence Cager, showing out again today. He had an incredible preseason game, continuing to show out right now during training camp and preseason. He's making a very, very valid point as to why he needs to be on this 53-man roster. Originally, I thought the Jets were going to go ahead and only keep 3 tight ends. But after Lawrence Cager's performance in the preseason game and then what we've been seeing in training camp, this kid can be a freak force addition to that tight end room that only benefits the offense. So he's having a game right now. Of course, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson continue to shine. Elijah Moore is doing his thing. Joe Flacco had 4 touchdown passes today. He ran the offense very, very effectively and efficiently. The defense was doing their thing. They're getting back behind the line of scrimmage. They're getting pressures. There was a couple of sacks on Joe Flacco as well today. It seems to be like as the offense is getting into their grind, the defense is getting into their grind, we're seeing more of a balance as to what this could potentially be. And again, I really don't believe there's many NFL teams out there that has our level of depth and talent, like depth of talent at that defensive line position, having that constant rotation coming in. I know during the preseason game, we didn't really see that kind of shine from the first team, but we saw it, from the likes of, Michael Clemens. We saw those guys in the back end, even JJ, got a couple of sacks as well. So I think that we know the defensive line has that high end potential that we've all been talking about, even though the first team didn't show it to us. So we did see a DJ Reed sighting. DJ Reed, of course, has been kind of hampered for the last couple of weeks over a hamstring. Getting him back in there right now to get some reps. Again, it wasn't a lot. He was on a bit of a pitch count and whatnot. They were trying to be ginger with him, gentle and whatnot. So he didn't get to play the whole series, but he did get a couple of reps out there. So that's good. That's a sign that he's going in the right direction. Quentin Williams was a no-show today for that ankle injury. It doesn't seem like Robert Saleh's too worried about it. It's more precaution at this point than anything else. They're just resting him. They don't want to re-aggravate it unnecessarily, which I'm all about. You know, Quentin Williams knows his defense. He knows what his role is in this defense. He's not going anywhere. So as a matter of fact, getting him rested up, I don't care if he doesn't play for the rest of the preseason. Get this guy ready to play when it matters. Yeah. How about our boy Denzel Mims? Check this video out. Denzel Mims with a beautiful, beautiful contested catch in the end zone today. Look, man, I keep saying and I keep harping on the fact that I like Denzel. I really want to keep this kid on the roster. A lot of people are saying, like, trade him, trade him, trade him, but the Jets obviously don't want to do that. In case you weren't aware, the New York Jets have been getting phone calls, like trade calls for Denzel Mims. They've been denying him. They've been denying him, pushing him to the wayside. There is no intention at the moment to trade that guy. They understand what his potential can be and how high his ceiling is. So the Jets have not even entertained, like, seriously, any of the offers they've received in terms of trade offers for Denzel Mims. And then he does plays like this. I mean, come on, man. That is just, it shows us what he's capable of in this offense. Now, yes, he can be frustrating, and he showed that as well during the preseason with the drops and the penalty. I get it. I get it. I do. But Denzel Mims is uber talented. Uber talented. This is the guy who could potentially replace Corey Davis in a year, maybe two, right? If he continues to grow. And I think the Jets, leadership believes the same thing as well. So overall, it was a good training camp, right? Dwayne Brown, what I'm saying, is in the building. He's taking those reps on the side and trying to, before he can get into the team reps. The offense looks good under the tutelage of Joe Flacco. The pieces we've brought in the draft and in free agency, Conklin continues to go ahead and shine. Like, everything is trending up. Our defense is looking good. Sauce Gardner is continuing to make plays, right? There was one catch made on him today, almost went for a touchdown, right, to Elijah Moore from Joe Flacco. Beautiful throw from Joe, beautiful catch from Elijah. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was good coverage, by Sauce Gardner, but that was he almost got scored on. I think he was able to stop it on the 3 or the 4 yard line. This is the play right here. So I mean, yeah, ultimately, it's a good day for Jets fans. We got great news about whether or not Zach Wilson was going to be out for too long. He's not. He's going to be just fine. Dwayne Brown is talking about why he came to the team, and there's no, like, negative, like, back and forth between him and George Fant. That's all good to go. And the offense was clicking. The defense continues to get into the backfield. Like, man, I don't know what else you can ask for in regards to a training camp. It was a very good balance today, and yeah, man, go Jets. This is exciting. This is exciting. Y'all should be excited. It looks like things are starting to shift in our favor a little bit. We're not taking those kind of L's that we were accustomed to taking from before in past experiences. And I don't know about you, but it's good to know that, like, the football guys have finally come down and they're like, you know what? I get it. You've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? You've already sacrificed Makai Becton, who is in fact out for the entire season. Makai was placed on the IR today, so he's going to be gone for this season. That means 2 years in a row we haven't seen our star tackle on the field, right? So hopefully, during the offseason, he rehabilitates to the fullest and he's able to come back stronger and better. Hopefully, Makai Becton comes back next year and proves his doubters wrong as well. But that's it, man. That's been your New York Jets situation report debrief slash update slash great news. There's really been no bad news today for the New York Jets. It's been all on the up. So now it's just a matter of getting ready for this preseason game against the Falcons, so we can go ahead and see a better product on the field starting off like what we saw on this past preseason game. That's it. Hey, we're full officially on the Fantasy Football League. So thank you guys for signing up. Thank you for being members of following me on Twitter, following me and subscribing to the channel. We're going to be doing a live draft online. So I'm getting that set up too for us to go ahead and do a draft online when our draft goes sometime in the next couple of weeks. I know we're voting on the date, but that's going to be fun. And man, yeah, just go Jets, man. Football's back. I'm ready for us to start talking about games now and talking about W's and losses. Hopefully more W's than losses. But great day for the New York Jets. Great day for the fan base. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Go Jets. Can't wait for the season to start. And I believe somebody went down today. One of the running backs went down today. I think with an ankle injury, but they were able to get back up and they were fine. It wasn't Hall. It wasn't Tevin Coleman. It wasn't Carter. Oh, wow, I'm having a brain fart or something. But anyway, it was a mild thing. He got injured during practice. He wound up coming back into the game. He was fine.